This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you can get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. What's up, costume fans? It's Dan here, back with another well-curated list on the platform that loves curated lists, our mother YouTube. Costume sizing has always been a fascinating element of Disney park character meet and greets, right? We just got done looking at 11 of the biggest costume characters out there, so I got wondering, man, what are some of the smallest characters you could meet in the park? And that got my wheels turning. Let me introduce you to the big head costumes. You've seen them on this channel plenty before. The trick being that they hid the cast member's head inside the giant oversized hats, which surprisingly works pretty well. Just look at the Mad Hatter, look at the Seven Dwarves, Winnie the Pooh and his honey pot. So keeping the big head traditions in mind, let's take a look at some of my favorite tiny characters roaming around the parks today, or at least recently. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to come find me in other places like TikTok and also on our vlog, Please Stop Vlogging, where we are pleading for you, please stop vlogging. One of my favorite rare tiny characters is, of course, the gray goat himself.
It's an elephant.
Dumbo the elephant. Look how tiny this Dumbo is. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. This is actually a really great example of the transition into the modern tiny trick designs that we kind of use today. I call this special variety of the tiny characters the hat heads, all right? We don't need to necessarily oversize the proportions of characters like we did in the 60s with the big heads. Now, we can just find the right character to justify wearing a hat and we are set, baby. Once you know how this trick works, it's genius. With the torso fully hiding in the face of the character and the head tucked away in an accessory, some of the looks you can pull off are amazing. And this tiny Dumbo is one of my favorite. My gosh, he just looks so tiny and squishy. And my favorite part about this costume is his nose wiggles. Give me a wiggling nose any day. Remember earlier this year when this Dumbo appeared like everywhere on social, everyone's like freaking out, it's Dumbo, guys. And I'm like, yeah, this costume's been around for 20 plus years and I did a video about it a few years ago on old District Dan's YouTube channel. Check it out. The chaos of the hat head characters continues with one of the greatest characters that's ever worn a hat, I would argue, Mr. Potato Head. A costume of Mr. Potato Head, it's just a chaos costume. This thing is truly cursed. Look at this thing. Have you ever seen the YouTube video of this thing falling over? It takes like 7 cast members to stand it all back up. And all the while, there's just this one dude, this one cast member security guy just standing in the corner of the video the entire time, watching the chaos, doesn't move from his post. He's like one of those British knights. All the parts of this costume are wiggable. Like the eyes, the arms, and such. So I can only imagine the inside of this costume is a complicated series of pokey knobs. Kind of like that magic trick with all the swords stuck in the box. So I can't imagine what kind of black and blue marks this cast member got when he fell over on all these pointy operating bits. Makes all my bits hurt. Mike Wazowski. He's freaky, he's tiny, he's clawed, he's terrifying. But my God, what a beautiful costume design that's just executed, mwah, mwah, mwah. It's just beautiful. It's almost bizarre seeing this costume in person because when you do, you realize it's just like a bowling ball with limbs. It's so wild that they made it happen. I absolutely adore it. When looking at Mike Wazowski's new costume, he's got all kinds of great mobility with that Monsters University hat on. Man, I love updated Mike because the original one was stiff as a board, man. I could just imagine those arms creaking up and down. They had to be oiled regularly like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz. I don't know, this costume is precarious, all right? There's another great viral video of this costume character falling over. What is it about arms on sticks that just make characters dangerous? Speaking of Monsters, Inc., perhaps the cutest case study of the hat head costume is Boo. She is unlike any other costume here in her design. With the head of the character like halfway down the torso of the costume design, the cast member inside just has to like lean forward a little bit to literally match eyes with like every kid around. It's so cool. Look at this thing. The design of this thing is so smart. Warning. The next costume that I'm about to show you may bring bad luck upon you for 7 years. But it's truly one of my favorite. Here he is again. You know him well. The one and only Golf Ball Goofy. This one's even worse than like all the other ones in that he has no arms. It's just a ball. Like he's got flappy earlobes, but he had like, I can't imagine the straitjacket type of claustrophobia that you might feel as the cast member inside this monstrosity. If that was you, email me, please. I want to talk to you. I want to make sure you're okay. I want this costume so bad. Are there any costume makers out there that can help me make this? Because like, call me, let's do it. I'll wear it to every convention ever, forever, period. If I get 1 million subscribers, I'll tattoo this golf ball goof right on me. I'll just keep this monstrosity with me forever to keep the memory of you alive, your love, our relationship. Well, the video was nice so far, wasn't it? Well, now it's time to get unhinged. Because we can't have a Disney Dan video without me raging about something Disney on Ice, right? And oh boy, this costume makes me rage with joy. Anger. Disney on Ice, Inside Out, anger. Look at this beautiful costume. Look at it. The cast member's head is in the flames, looking through yellow plastic. Genius. Just genius. This character isn't always flaming throughout the entire movie. He only flames when he gets super angry. But the fact that we had to add the flames to make the costume workable, so that now this character is just always, just constantly enraged, just lends to the story. It just fills my heart with joy. I love it so much. It's just, this costume is just simply perfection. It's divine. Just look at it. Just take it all in. What else is there to say? The arms aren't also functional. Just keep that in mind. When you watch them go around on the ice, it's just a lot of wiggle arms. Tinkerbell. You could be cast to be Tinkerbell being as little as 4'11". The original flying Tinkerbell at Disneyland was this incredible human named Tiny Klein, who was 4'10" tall. She was the first Tinkerbell to fly from the Matterhorn over the castle. Super cool. And my favorite fact about her was that she was a specially trained trapeze artist that only swung from her teeth. She would bite onto things and swing around from her teeth. So the first time she did the Tinkerbell jump and many jumps after, she was incredibly nervous. Why? Because she had never looked down before. What? That is the best thing I've ever heard. I'm thinking we need a special Tinkerbell evolution. The evolution of flying Tinkerbell. Let me know in the comments. Hashtag flying Tinkerbell. Let me tell you about 3 of the shortest of short characters you can find in the park, and their names are Hewith, Dewith, and Lewith, the ducks. These are truly tiny characters. Casting for them is between 4 foot and 4'6", which makes sense because Daisy and Donald come in around 4'6" to 4'10", and these 3 are the nephews of Donald, so they've got to be smaller, right? So these are some really tiny characters. I adore them. I love when you can see them out and about. They're so much fun. They're mischievous scamps. But how do we get smaller than Huey, Dewey, and Louie? It's a great question. I think the first place to start is Push, the talking trash can. There's someone inside this thing, right? I mean, how else is it getting around? No, seriously, tell me. Wait, you mean to tell me that there is not someone inside Push the talking trash can? It's just a robot? It's just a droid being driven around? That sounds like something I should maybe look into. Are there other robots in the parks? Let's see if we can find out. Look, I love the idea of robots and droids in the parks. There are actually a lot of them. We've interacted with many, but I think Push is definitely the coolest. He has the best personality, and he has the coolest autograph too. So stay tuned, there's gonna be a really great video where we dive into a lot of the secrets of the droids, all kinds of them, R2-D2, BB-8, even that recycling Push. Lots to talk about, so stay tuned for hashtag secrets of the droids. How can we go smaller than Push?
We have to go smaller.
Do you remember that preview of Walking Teenage Groot in 2021? It was the coolest video. They're like, we've got a robot Groot. We keep him leashed in case he gets out. And he dances around. He's like a stumbling tree toddler. You're gonna love him. And where is he? I haven't seen him once. I feel like it was in the works for the Epcot attraction, and then like something got like jingled, and then they put an adult Groot in the ride, and like 15 years of robotic work and Imagineering just went down the drain instantly. But the best baby Groot, and arguably one of the smallest characters you could have ever met at the parks, was the one from 2017 for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Look at this little guy, he's adorable. And my favorite part is that console that he's sitting on, there's a sweaty cast member puppeteer sitting inside of that thing with a bunch of jangles and jingles and pedals to step on to make it work, which is hilarious to me. So you're really meeting two cast members. One is dressed to sort of look like what might have been Star-Lord in another universe as a 20-year-old in college. And then the other one is just a sweaty guy in a box. Perhaps the smallest character that you could meet in the parks was Remy Rat from France, Epcot's France. Long before there was a Ratatouille ride, there was a plate of fake cheese and bread and a little animatronic rat controlled by a maitre d' named Armand with a special controller in the lid. And boy, it's cool. It's super cool. He couldn't talk. He could just do this, which is fine, I guess. But it apparently upset people and they stopped using it because you know, I guess it could be a little off-putting, you know, to like grandma who's been drug along on the vacation, who really does not want to be there. I mean, you're in a theme park, lady. What do you want? All right. Sometimes anthropomorphic rats come to dinner, okay? You just ate dinner at Chef Mickey's over the Contemporary and you weren't bothered about a rat in that kitchen. It's time to calm down. We're in pretend land over here. This is the land of make-believe. Did you just miss the whole point of Ratatouille? That rats can cook too? And that they're people too? My favorite tiny character of all, though, has to be this Eldritchian horror that has been laid before you at Avengers Campus, which was a fun novelty at first. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's cute. But then the more I think about it, the more I realize that all the rides are operating. And those require cast members to like push buttons and do safety procedures to make sure that it's safe to operate. Hank Pym just captured cast members in this thing. Someone save them. Is anyone going to save them? Somebody save them. And this isn't the end of Speed with Keanu Reeves. We don't have like a brick and a book bag and like a stick of wood to make the bus keep running. No. This is Disneyland. This is a choo-choo train that looks like a caterpillar that goes through a giant fiberglass watermelon. All right, who's running these things? Perhaps there are ants in here running it. And in which case I will say that that's cool. I didn't know you could get an ant to do that. And then the question then becomes, are the ants inside of this thing unionized? Are they getting benefits? Are they seeing any pay raise from all of these price increases? Think of the ants. Hey Kenny, what's this? Hey man, listen man, we don't need tiny websites here. We need gigantic websites, thanks to our friends over at Squarespace. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. Connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members, send email notifications, and leverage audience insights all on one easy-to-use platform. Create a community on your Squarespace website with a fully integrated commenting system that supports threaded comments, replies, and likes. Use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your posts too. The tiniest bathroom I've ever been in is the one in our stateroom on the Disney Wish. Man, you could barely turn around in it, but hey, it had a nightlight. And you know what? Don't laugh, Kenny, man. I love a bathroom with a built-in nightlight. Like the under the cabinet glowed. Cut to some B-roll of it, man. Show them. Extend Squarespace's already powerful e-commerce capabilities with Squarespace extensions. These new third-party tools help you manage inventory, promote products, streamline bookkeeping, reconcile and file sales, tax, and ship items across the globe. Display posts from your social profiles on your website. Automatically push website content to your favorite social media channels so your followers can share it too. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/DisneyDan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, Tiny Dan, did you like it? Okay, Tiny Dan liked it. Well, there you go. There are 9 of my favorite tiny characters. The list went a little long, but I don't know what you want me to tell you because top 9 tiny characters just sound so cute. You can find me across all of the blessed social media channels, such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Patreon, all of them. I'm there, as well as our new Clips channel, and of course, Kenny and I's vlog. Please stop vlogging. Please, we're begging you. Thanks for watching, and as always, you rock. When the parade was over, they had to burn it, Kenny. You can't get the original one. They had to destroy it because it was hypnotizing. It was hypnotizing janitors at night to put it on and wear it around the park. I haven't been able to let go of my arms just thinking about it. I was just thinking about how squeezed. I would never be able to fit in Golf Ball Goofy. Like, the Golf Ball Goofy they're gonna have to make for me is gonna have to be 5 times the size of this thing. But hey, that might just add to the magic.